I'm going to show you how to make a really easy rice dish, and I use this for breakfast, or I use it for dessert, or I just use it for a snack. And I first saw this in a Thai restaurant, and it's the glutinous rice, you know, the white sticky rice that they steam, and then they put coconut milk on it and sugar and little mango slices, and it was so good. I totally loved it. But I wanted to get away from the oil they used and the sugar they used and also the white rice. So we did a little experiment to see like what would happen if we used brown rice and if we used healthy ingredients. So here's how we're going to do this. Okay, 4 cups of cooked basmati rice. We're just going to throw this in a pan here. Now, do you guys know how they make white rice? They take brown rice and they polish it, which means they just buff it until all the bran is off of it and all you have left is the starch in the middle. And the problem with that is all your nutrients, all your B vitamins and all your mineral content, everything, all your fiber, that's in the bran, which is the brown part around the outside of the rice. Once you buff all that off, you've just got a pure starch which turns into sugar the second you eat it. And so you might as well just be eating straight sugar, and that's how biologically your body breaks it down. So for diabetics, eating white rice is just a bad idea. For pre-diabetics and anybody that doesn't want to mess with their insulin regulation, you don't want to be eating any kind of white or polished rice. So brown rice is left, the bran is left on, so all the nutrients are intact. It's got a lot of fiber in, which is going to help you with your digestion, and lots of B vitamins. So that helps you with your mental state, your mood, your immune system. So I would recommend, if you're eating any kind of white rice right now, switch over to brown rice. There's several different kinds. There's black rice, which is like a wild rice. There's purple rice. There's brown basmati rice, which is a brown rice, but when you cook it, it kind of smells like popcorn. It's really sweet and fragrant, and that's what we're using today. There's short grain and long grain brown rice, which has a more plain flavor to it. So there's lots of things to choose from, and you don't have to stick with just the traditional white rice. And I know most people have grown up with it. So again, it's the consciousness versus conditioning. You know, learn about what's best for your body, think about it, and then make a choice next time. Why am I eating this? Is it just because I've been conditioned to eat this over and over again, or is it because it's the best thing for my body? Yes, we have a question here.
As long as it's not white rice, okay to buy?
Depends on what did you have in mind?
Costco has big bags of jasmine or basmati, different ones like that.
So the Costco, as far as I know, those are also polished rice. So if the color of the rice is right, whether it's jasmine or basmati or the glutinous rice, if it's white, it's been polished, all the nutrients have been buffed off of it. If it's brown, so you guys can see this is also basmati rice, but it's brown. So this is the same thing as the basmati rice in Costco, but it hasn't been polished.
Will the bag say that, or do you have to be able to see?
It'll say it on the bag. It'll either say brown basmati rice or just regular basmati rice. So if it doesn't say brown, then it'll be white. I find that when I go to the health food store, they usually have it in the bulk section for relatively inexpensive, and you can get it there. So my family loves basmati rice, so we just use that just because it's fragrant and it tastes better and it's a little bit sweeter than than other brown rices. So we like wild rice and basmati rice the best, but again, there's lots of things to choose from. So after that, all we do is put in 1 can of coconut milk. And when you're choosing your coconut milk, make sure that it's whole coconut milk and not light or low-fat coconut milk. I know America is on a no-fat trip, which is it's not a trip to be on. Your body needs fat. Your cellular membranes are made out of fat. Your brain is made out of fat. Your organs are protected by fat. If you don't have the proper fats in your body, your cells can't function. Also, if you have the wrong fats in your body, your cells can't function. So coconut milk and coconut oil, if it's whole and if it's raw, I mean, obviously your canned coconut milk is not raw, but it's whole and it hasn't been processed, then that's going to provide you with good fats that are going to support your cellular function. If you get the light coconut milk, you're just getting the water and the flavor basically, and it's the fats in the coconut that are actually good for you and that are going to support your body and your cellular function. Okay, do you guys see this broccoli, how it's super bright green? That's when it's time to turn it off. Now, how many of you have had broccoli that's just kind of like turned brown and gray because you've cooked it for too long. And that's pretty gross, right? So, so if you stop it right there, it's beautiful. And those are the rules of our healthy cooking, is it has to be delicious, it has to be beautiful, and it has to make you feel great when you're done. So this is beautiful, it's bright green, it's not all limp and gray, and it's gonna make you feel good, and it's gonna taste a lot better. So we're just gonna finish this, and then I'll show you what we've got going over there. Then we've got raw honey. We're gonna put in like between 1/4 and 1/2 cup. When I make this for other people, the feedback is either it's too sweet or it's not sweet enough. So I put in a range of possibilities for honey. Like most people, if it's a dessert, they like closer to 1/2 cup. But if it's for like a breakfast, they like it closer to 1/4 cup. So I'm just gonna put in right in the middle of that. You guys can taste it. And again, intuitive eating tells you to make it by the recipe, taste it, and then decide what your body's calling for. If your body wants it sweeter, if you like it sweeter, make it sweeter. If you like it less sweet, just make it your signature dish and make it your own by tasting it and changing it. Next is 4 tablespoons of vanilla. Now that's 1/4 cup of vanilla, and a lot of people might think that's a lot of vanilla to put in there, but that's kind of the magic of the dessert rice, is the vanilla. And a pinch of salt. We got like 1/4 teaspoon of salt right here that we're gonna throw in there. It's 4 tablespoons of vanilla. And all of you will have the recipe book, so I'm gonna, tonight or tomorrow, I'll email you all the recipe book that has the recipes we're doing today, plus about 20 more Asian-inspired healthy recipes. So that's part of coming to the class. And all we're gonna do, stick this baby on the heat, and you're just going to cook it until the liquid is absorbed into the rice, and it makes a really nice rice pudding. So I had an email from, I can't remember who the email was from, but she emailed me, and was that you? She said, please, I want a rice pudding recipe. So this is in answer to your email. This is rice pudding and sugar-free brown rice instead of white rice, and it's got lots of healthy stuff in there for you. And also, because, there we go. Because you've got your carbohydrates with the rice and the fat with the coconut oil, it's just going to stick with you. It's not going to be one of those cereals that you eat in the morning that's just going to, you eat it and a half hour later you're hungry. It really sticks with you. You can also put raisins in here if you like raisins, or chopped up dried fruit in there. That's nice if you want some variation. I serve it with either pineapple slices or mango slices, and it makes a really delicious dessert or breakfast. So we'll just let that cook for a while, and we have some samples for you.